I am Derek Hankerson, producer with FirstCoast.tv. We're here today at Fort Mose State Park to celebrate Founders Day. What is Founders Day, you may ask? In March of 1738, Spanish Florida's Governor Manuel de Montiano officially proclaimed the establishment of Fort Mose, the black community, and what is today the United States. He named the settlement El Pueblo de Gracia, Rio de Santa Teresa de Mose, in honor of the Spanish king Santa Teresa, the patron saint of Spain, and Yamasee and other Native American refugees from the British invasion of 1702, who settled on the shores of Moses Creek. At that time, Governor Montanio granted Captain Francisco Menendez and 30 fellow militia members their freedom. The event today commemorates the founding of Fort Mose and the granting of freedom to Menendez and members of the black militia, which traces its origins back to 1683, when it was first formed by Spanish Governor Manuel Marquez Cabrera. Now, let's go up to the park to see and talk to some of the members for Founders Day. Who are you portraying today, James?
Today I have the honor of portraying Captain Francisco Menendez. He was a man who was born free in West Africa, escaped here in the Carolinas, managed to make his way to Spanish Florida, and in the course of his lifetime will lead not only soldiers in the Fort Mose militia, but also be the leader of the town. You see, Fort Mose was more than just a military outpost, but home to some 100 people in the year of 1738.
What was that militia composed of? Who were in that militia?
Well, in the Spanish territories, there were militias, and here at Fort Mose, the Free Black Militia was comprised of people who were basically offering their service in exchange for the freedom that Spain was offering.
Last question, why is Founders Day important?
Well, because this site in 1725 was established as an Indian refugee site. The native peoples played a part in this struggle as well, and they offered a great assistance of freedom seekers on their way to Spanish Florida. The creation of Fort Mose will signal a new era for colonial development, a free black settlement here in North America, some 26, 28 years before the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
And some 250 years later, we had the 1964 Civil Rights Act. How prophetic?
Well, the stories of emancipation, the stories of what freedom really means are continually rediscovered, re-examined, and what they mean to us in our era is what makes this story so relevant.
So are you telling me that there were black militias or black men with Yamasee and Spanish who were fighting for freedom and independence 36 years before the American Revolution in 1776?
Yes, I wish it was something that was more widely known and more widely understood, because its significance is that people of color played a strategic role in the international politics of their day. This is one true definition of freedom, perhaps, is to take action to control one's destiny. In the case of many people at Fort Mose, it was far more personal in terms of protecting their families, because those were things that were not necessarily being respected in that era.
Apunten! Disparen!
I am here with Stephen Gard, and I want to ask him a couple of questions with reference to Founders Day. Stephen, who are you portraying today?
Father Joseph de Leon. He was the first priest. He was given the task by his superiors to build the first church in Mose, or at Mose.
And what's the significance with reference to those West Africans who freed themselves from the chains of bondage in the Carolinas and found their way 377 miles to this settlement, Fort Mose?
Well, like all people of the country of Spain, you had rules. To become a Spanish free person, you had to serve in the militia, and you also had to become Catholic. And if you did not become Catholic, you were still enslaved by the Spanish. So it was quite a great opportunity, and the Catholic Church provided a service, and hopefully the people took it seriously.
This is a powerful story.
It is. It's a story of freedom that many people do not know. Slavery was in this state of Florida, but the Spanish had different ideas towards slavery.
I think the most important, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the most important aspect about this is 250 years before the Civil Rights Act, we had black men who were self-emancipating and defending their own freedom.
Oh, sure, that is so true. You know, like all humans, we discriminate.
Yes.
And I am sure there was discrimination.
Sure.
But the idea of freedom at all, for anybody of the people of Africa, it's just a phenomenal story.
I think it's even more powerful, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, that all of these events, to include the civil rights legislation, as I like to call it, from the various edicts and proclamation, led to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and St. Augustine again played a leading role.
Yes, that is true.
I think that is divine providence.
It is. It's a human story, and it's just a phenomenal story.
Well, thank you, Father.
And you thought you didn't go out, but you did.
Felt like it had quite a kick that last time.
Yeah, but
I did not feel that first.
But there was.